My God is almighty. I gotta tell somebody that my God is almighty. God Almighty. God Almighty. Just God Almighty. God Almighty. God Almighty. God Almighty. I gotta tell somebody tonight that my God is almighty. Oh yeah, we're talking about God tonight. This morning, love in my eyes, I knew it was time for me to rise and go and get it, cause my family's depending on me. Long as we got each other, my God is all. God Almighty. God Almighty. Till I can't go no more. I'm gonna let God be show. I'm gonna tell somebody that really needs to know. I gotta tell somebody. I got to tell somebody that my God is almighty. I ain't talking about yours. I'm talking about mine. My God has shown me that I'm one of a kind. I don't believe in it, cause I be living in it. When you see it, you see me. Welcome to the huddle. Welcome to the huddle, man. Each one teach one. Each one reach one. We all we got. We all we need. If you are that one, then you got to know that you are enough. You are enough. When everything's going wrong, you are enough to get things right. You're one of the ones that fight the good fight. There's a mighty power invested in you, and everything that power represents begins with you. Welcome to the huddle, heroes and sheep. You already know Chris K. Dog Mayfield. Let's go. Big brother Tate. Let's go. We're in the huddle, man. We're talking about God tonight. Want to give a shout out, man, to my executive producer, who just happens to be my wardrobe coordinator. And I'm so thankful that I can say she is my wife. I say, baby, what I'm wearing tonight? Tonight I'm talking about God. She said, well, you got to put that gold plated on your chest. Because what's over you and what's in you and your heart is all of what God really is. And we're going to put the gold on it. Because it's going to shine tonight. So that's what I'm wearing tonight, baby. The gold is for the God. Let's go, baby. Want to give a shout out to the greatest co-host in the world, my home girl. Alexa, I love you.
Thanks for saying I love you. You're just as sweet as pie.
Yeah.
Know that I'll be here for you.
Good.
As always, your trusty AI.
Good God. Alexa, I appreciate you.
Aw, you just made my day.
See, when you make her day and you realize that she represents the polarity of power. See, she represents the feminine energy that hold me down, just like the ground. That's why they call that Mother Earth. So when she feel good, because she operates through her feelings, Her emotions, her feelings dictate her emotions. And when she feels like a woman and she feels protected, she feels honor, then her energy begins to go in the motion to be and do everything that you need for balance. That's how it works. So I'm just working it with her. Yeah, I made her day. And we finna have a powerful show. We finna have a powerful show. Yeah. We like to start off every week. Man, I feel good. We like to start off every week with a hero hymn. The hero hymn is the mighty hero spirit within me. We know the spirit means wind. Spirit means to breathe. Spirit means to blow. Spirit means to inhale, exhale. As I inhale the mighty wind, and it travels through my vocal cords and my respiratory system. And as I exhale it, it comes out in a sound, but we know it as a vibration. When you feel me just as much as you hear me, we connect in the hero spirit. The hero hymn tonight says, I thank God for what it's done for me. Deep in my heart, I know my God ain't done with me. Oh, no, no. I could be somewhere that I never thought I would be. I could have seen something that I never could imagine to see. So I thank God for what it's done for me. Deep in my heart, I know my God ain't done with me. If you feel it, it's because you are it. We're right where we're supposed to be, in the moment, fighting the fight of our lives to live the life we want to live. The movie is far from the end. The game is far from over. We're in the meat of the fight. And we fighting with all our. So I thank God for what it's done for me. Tonight's word is God. What is God? Who is God? How faithful are you to God? It is as real to you as you are real to it. How real are you with it? Alexa, what is the meaning of God?
As a noun, God is usually defined as the one supreme being, the creator and ruler of the universe. As a verb, God is usually defined as to regard or treat as a god, deify, idolize. As an interjection, God is usually used to express disappointment, disbelief, weariness, frustration, annoyance, or the like. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for God.
This was a powerful word that I chose to use tonight. Anybody know me personally knows I have a very peculiar stance with God and what people believe and what we believe. and how we believe. So unless you've never had a personal conversation with me, I would always imagine that most people really don't know where I stand with God. I call it it. It's real. It's powerful. It's love. It is life. In the last 30 days, I've been to church twice. And the last times I've been in church have all been under the same circumstances. I always go to church, and the only time that I'm ever in church is for a funeral. And contrary to what I may believe or not believe, or understand or may not understand, this has been the circumstances that I find myself in church. I stand firm to say I'm not a believer. I don't believe in it because I live in it. I understand the point of it all. Truly see myself in it. So when I'm in church, this last 2 times in the last 30 days, and just so happened when I'm in this church, at these funerals, I'm in a position to go in the pulpit and speak. And this last time I found myself in church and I had a conversation with myself. I say, Trav, here you are. You in church, man. And you finna use your gift. Is this God? How did you get in what we know is to be the God's house and use your gift, but you say you don't believe? So in the last 30 days, I've been asking myself some questions. Trav, what is this God thing? You got to talk about it. Because everything that I know it to be, I just call it hero training. I just call it hood soul. Everything I know it to be. Everything that I am. Everything that I intend to be. It's through my understanding of what God is. What is God? God is love. God is respect. God is dignity. God is commitment. God is honor. When you have a reason to be all those things, everything that make that reason comes to be is God. My journey to this understanding began as a child. The first time I felt honor, when I could empathize with my parents and struggles in life. And when I knew we had a moment of honor, of true love and bliss, and I saw joy in my parents' face and I felt joy, that became God to me. And as a child, because we all are children that has gotten old, as a child, I became to serve my own idea of what it takes to be that. And all I knew I had to do was wake up every day and be the best son I could be. I tried my best to make my parents proud. Those moments became God in a child's mind. I started going through life fearful of the opposition of that. What is hell? To cause hurt, to cause pain, to make a bad decision. I feared disappointment. I feared ever having to call my daddy and hear disappointment in his voice. Anything that had the potential to bring that to me became the devil, the opposition of God. Anything that became pride and honor, of love, fulfillment in life, that became God. I began to serve all the right decisions that would lead me to honor and love. I saw it in other people's lives. I began to see how it worked. I've told this story many times. When I turned 24, me and my girlfriend at the time, she got pregnant. At this time, at 24 years old, I'm talking about the power of me understanding what God is in this moment and why I hero train every Thursday. And I'm so real with it that I don't put you under the spell. I want to put it in your soul. But going back to I was 24 years old, I was just reminiscing. At 24 years old, I think of myself at right now 44. And I think about all the 24-year-old men that I know. At that particular time, I had men that was 44 and old enough to be my daddy that would come to a 21-year-old and a 24-year-old house as a true confidant and friend. And would always tell me there's a power in you, young man. But the only thing I knew that power to be, the only thing I know that power to be now is just to wake up and respect and love every man that's before me. With dignity, respect, honor, empathy, love, sincerity. I began to see it work. So at 24, my girlfriend at the time get pregnant. Our baby is stillborn. I witnessed myself be born again, but he was born again in death. I had a real conversation at that moment. Hey, how could this happen to me? What's going on here? I tell this story because it's powerful when I talk about God. It's powerful when I'm hero training. I told you I had an aunt that said, God don't make mistakes. I said, God don't make mistakes. That changed my life. Because if God don't make mistakes, and this is not a mistake, the 24-year-old Charles Travis Perry and Lakeisha Denise Gray, this ain't a mistake, and this has a purpose in my life and my journey, then I ain't just gonna play no game for you to tell me that this is divine for me. Oh, I'm finna understand my purpose then. I'm finna get real with it. So if God don't make mistakes, what is this that we call God? And from that moment, it led me to be who I am. And the reason I wear this on my chest every day of my life. Every day of my life. I'm I am fully committed to you for the rest of my life. I'm fully, yeah. From that day, I stand in the moment on what I know God. I dealt with a whole lot of ideas, concepts, to understand a whole lot about what it ain't. So when I stand on my square and I talk about what I don't believe, and you get more caught up in you hearing what I don't believe, but I say because I live in it. And when I say I live in it, I'm fully committed to be it. We are human beings. Human being what? 5 years later, after that moment changed my life, at 28 years old, this happened at 24, 28 years old. At 28 years old, I got married. I gave my wife a dream wedding. That same year, I opened up in a concert and had a concert with Lil Boosie. This was '08. It was at the prime when he just came out with Wipe Me Down. I went on stage before him. That was my night and my stage. Something very powerful happened. It also changed my life. In the midst of those changes, my wife became pregnant. I saw my son come out. And all the journey that I had been on, from the statement, God don't make mistakes. And as I stood in that moment and watched my son King come out of my wife, at that moment, I witnessed God. I witnessed God. I was born again. I witnessed myself born again. And as I sat there and I witnessed, and all I could do was watch. It's one of the most humblingest moments as a man. When you stand there and watch nature works with the woman. And the only thing you can do is sit there and will her strength to say, come on, baby, I got you. That's when you're really watching it work. And at that moment, I knew what I was committed to. And I knew what God was. And I knew what God is. And I knew what God will always be. And I began to understand my grandparents who couldn't read, who couldn't write, but they knew God. I realized that this God that's real, it ain't in no book. It ain't in nobody writing. It ain't in nobody reading. It ain't in nobody being smart. It ain't in nobody being able to go to theology school. It ain't in nobody being affiliated and all and exonerated to say you are a preacher. No, it ain't in none of that. It's the power which is in every last one of us to be a mother, a father, and a child. And if you show me one who ain't, and if you show me one who's not living in the divine order of pride to be, I'll show you something godless. It really ain't got a real reason. So when I talk about God, I don't use that word because it makes you submissive to your level of understanding. I call it hero training. I call it being a mama, a daddy, a son, a brother. I call it being waking up and knowing your position of grandmother or grandfather, and knowing that there's a power invested in you, that it's people that's divinely connected to you, that's dependent on, and if you make the connection strong, then the outcome of those connections is God. And if there's a child who needs its mother, and if there's a child who needs its father, and if there's a husband who truly needs his wife, and vice versa, and the connection ain't strong, look at reality, people. They say it's hard out here because ain't too many people got God out here. I ain't talking about what you believe. I'm talking about what you is. I'm talking about what you do. Because we can do and we can be all type of hurtful things to each other. And we can accept that we devils to each other. But it's hard out here because ain't nobody got God out here. God is love. If you giving it, then you doing the will of God and you being God of God for people who praying and need God. And I talk it like this, and this was a powerful word because I ain't trying to come on here and be smart. I ain't trying to give you something to go read. I ain't trying to give you something to research. Every week I come on here, I'm giving you understanding and training tools to know that when you walk in a room and you say, "What's up?" to your son, and he smiles, and so happy to see you, and your attention feel golden amongst his soul and around his aura, and you know in your soul, God is good. When you go to work every day, committed, disciplined, do what you got to do, man, to get what it takes to survive. And you do more than a little survive. And you able to give a little luxury and some of the little things that feel good. And when your wife and your children appreciate you and say, Daddy, thank you, God is good. God is good. So what is God? When I went to that church house, I said what I said from my soul. Where those seeds land, that ain't for me to know. All I can do is give it from my soul. If it land in the hearts of all those that was there to honor those lives that was there to be honored, that impact is God. That's greater than me. I'm just playing my part in it. We all just playing our part in it. When we wake up every day and know that our part is the part of a piece of puzzle that leads to love, honor, dignity, truth, respect, love. God is good. I often tell people, close your eyes. Think about God and tell me what you see. The question is way more powerful than the answer. The question becomes a daily exercise. Close your eyes, think about God, and tell me what you see. Alexa, what is the meaning of divine?
The term divine can be used to describe something that is associated with a god or deity. It can also refer to a specific god or the universal power. In religious traditions, the divine is often associated with truth, goodness, beauty, and concepts like love and compassion.
Close your eyes, think about God, and tell me what you see. Whatever you see is what you are divine to be. Close your eyes. Think about God. Tell me what you see. Whatever you see is a reflection of what you are divine to be. See, we suffer because we look for love in all the wrong places. When I say we, I'm talking about my folk. I'm talking about black folk. We suffer in our own particular way. I say, close your eyes and tell me what you see. What you see is what you are divine to be. I say, we killing ourselves. We don't really care. Because when we look into a mirror, we don't see God standing there. See how that works? We killing ourselves. We don't really care. Because when we stand in the mirror, we don't see God standing there. Now close your eyes, think about God, and tell me, what do you see? Whatever you see is a reflection of what you are divine to be. We suffer because we look for love in all the wrong places. One of the things that I do when I speak at a funeral, and this is strategic, because the only time I go to church is in a funeral. And I like to soak it in. But a funeral is the sum, it's the outcome. It's the full examination of what God was in this person's life. You will see it at the funeral. All that care, all that hurt, all that was impacted, all that was affected will be right there. And that will be a reflection of the God that was in that person. Past 2 times I've been to church, 2 beautiful, powerful people. God was so much in their lives. We suffer because we look for love in all the wrong places. So I strategically speak to draw all the attention to this reason we are here to celebrate. I put a pause to the cause. Can we all direct our attention from outside to inside for 3 minutes? When I say we all we got, we all we need, it's in us. It's in us to be given to each other. When we give it to each other, when we give love, when we give care, when we give sincerity, when we give honor, when we give respect, we're making God real. We're making God right. We're making God powerful. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm using hero training to do. To show you how this thing works. Know your position in it. Wake up every day with that understanding and give it all you got with the purest intentions to see love. Close your eyes and tell me what you see. I see me and my family and everybody and everything that means so much to me, working to the all of good. If you can see it, you can be it. I love you, man. I'm going to get out of here, man. It's been a good show, man. I love you. It's God. I hope I gave you some clarity. And I don't want to get so much into what it ain't. Like I say, I can do that, man. But that don't look. Let me make this point. When I go into the church, right, this is about how it works. The black church is an experience. That's a particular experience in this world. It don't feel the same in any non-black church. There's something in our soul that's a black thing. Church has become, in the theology and the religion aspect, has become a cage for this it that's within us. And when we come to church, we focus all our power in one particular point. That is black power. That is realness. That is unity. That is love. That is truly God. So when I go there, regardless of what I may understand, not understand, believe, or not believe, what I know is that is real. And when I feel that, and I embrace that, I embrace it for what it is. And I stand in knowing what it ain't. And that's the true unity of love. That's the true unity of love. And if we all can understand that, you realize, man, that it's nowhere because it's now here in the moment. It ain't in no book. It ain't nowhere. It's in the moment. It's me. It's you. It's we. And we all we got. We all we need. And the more and more we understand, the more and more you understand it, the more and more you and your wife understand it, or you and your husband understand that. And the more and more you realize, man, that you serve that as a mighty, mighty commitment. God be good. God be real. And you ain't got to believe it, because you're going to live in it. And when you live in it in its right order, he who turns the key shall live forever. If you live in it in its right order, the keys will be turned. And you shall live forever. And when the outcome is tallied up, they're going to see how real God was in your life. And how real you was as God in other people's life. So God is love. I love you. Hold me down. I thank God for what He's done for me. Deep in my heart, I know my God ain't done with me. Oh no.